Hi everyone, Luca Pellegrini speaking. In the past two videos, we've seen how call tracking works for business-to-business calls. And we also seen the difference between back-to-back user agent engagement on a call and a call without any back-to-back user agent. In this video, we will focus how to follow a call path for mobile remote access, and we will see also how mobile remote access routing works. In order to do this, we will get some help from the collaboration solution analyzer, which everyone can have access to. So, first of all, let's start diagnostic loggings on both Expressway C and Expressway E. We don't need TCP DAP. Okay, now logs have started and now we can make a call. This is a mobile remote access to mobile remote access call. So both endpoints are over the internet. So we answer this call and now we disconnect the call. So it's a very easy call flow. Now we can stop the logging. And we can collect logs. Download. Okay, now logs have been downloaded. Now what we're gonna do, we will upload those logs on the collaboration solution analyzer. So okay, and now we can select and run analysis. So we have the combined analysis, which takes into consideration Expressway C and Expressway E. We can select both. And as you can see here, there are few calls. This one, 1000 at ent2-pa.com, and the last one, those are spam calls. But we are interested in the two calls, agoodman and -pa.com, and this one, +1 972 5555 105. We can reorder those calls. And now what we can see is that there are two calls corresponding to the mobile remote access call. So why are we getting two independent calls? So the destination, as you see, is the same. What changes is the calling ID. Now, if you see the call ID, this call ID is completely different. So they are considered to be two independent call legs. What happens here? The call enters from Expressway E to Expressway C and gets into UniFiCM. Then UniFiCM realizes that has to place another mobile remote access call towards Expressway C. But because CUCM is a B2B UA, back-to-back user agent, SIP back-to-back user agent, it creates a complete independent call leg. So when Expressway C receives the other call leg, can't correlate to the initial call leg because the call ID is different, the session ID is different, so doesn't know that is exactly the same call because UniFiCM is a pure back-to-back user agent in terms of SIP. That's why we are seeing two independent calls. Let's analyze the first one. This calling is coming from the internet, is getting into Expressway E. Expressway E sends into Expressway C, and Expressway C sends the call to UniFiCM. What happens after? Basically, UniFiCM sends the call back to expressway C. But in order to do this, in order to see this, we need to open another window and analyze the second call legs. So let's reorder. Okay, let's take the second call leg, which now is the first, by the way, but the other one. So now we are seeing the call leg from Unify CM getting into expressway C, expressway E, and the destination. So if we want to see this in a single call flow, we need to use both windows. So call is coming from Jabber over the internet, enters into expressway E. Expressway E sends to expressway C. Expressway E sends the call to Unify CM, and Unify CM realizes that this is a mobile remote access call, so sends the call again to expressway C to expressway E, and finally to the endpoint. So this is the whole path. You can see that the IP address from the calling and the called is the same, because I'm doing this from my home office, and of course both my endpoints are NATed in the same way, so the public IP is the same. Now let's start analyzing the routing. So this is the first invite that comes from Jabber, the calling device, and we see that the destination is a telephone number corresponding to Unify CM. This is routed to expressway E. Expressway routes this unchanged to expressway C, and expressway C routes to Unify CM without any changes, basically. So the destination is the same. But on the other call leg, something different happens. So if we get into the other tab, this is Unify CM, sending the same invite to expressway C. So receiving the invite, UCM has received the invite from expressway C, has seen that it is a mobile remote access call, and sends the invite back to expressway C. Now you see that the destination is different. It's not anymore the telephone number, but it contains a string. So this is the identifier that Unify CM uses. So the call is exactly the same, but you don't see anymore the telephone number. This is due to the fact, to the way UCM addresses those calls. Now, in the next video, we will see more in detail how routing for mobile remote access works. Goodbye.